Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Happy New Year, by the way. This is the first one, isn't it, of this 2025. Welcome, welcome, and hope you're all doing good. I thought we'd get back on Train Sim Classic. Once again, been spending money in the sale at AP, so I've got quite a few different scenarios to run using the AP stuff. This one we're going to run tonight, this first one, excuse me. This is not an AP one, after I've just said all that. So, but we are starting in Warrington, which will please Bournes. This is Warrington. This is Dalham, where we're going to start tonight. We're going to take the postal train, the 325, which I understand have now all been withdrawn, if I've got that correct. And we're going from Dalham on the West Coast Missing Link, which is the Northwest and Midlands. I think you can go from wherever Trent Valley ends, you can go from there all the way to Preston on the West Coast Main Line. So south of Preston, you've only been able to go north of Preston up to now. So this goes all the way up to Preston, or it can go off as well to Liverpool Lime Street, going the other way. So this one's going to take us down to Stafford. Once we get to Crewe, we're going off to the loop, which we'll see when we get down there. So we're going to do that one. Then we're going to jump in the 156 East Midlands Trains, and we're going to do a short stopper with that as well. So who've we got in? Well, Animal's here. GE Dave. Actually, Dave, that reminds me. I have been running a few scenarios on the Great Eastern, so we will do a few of those at some point as well. So I've got a couple of things that we can use on the Great Eastern. I did a couple of runs on the original Great Eastern, not the one that Alan Thompson Sim has done. The original one seems to be running all right for me. I know some people have problems with it memory-wise. So we'll do that on a future one. We've got Stepford, good evening. When is the roadmap? Probably next week, I would say. Emma, good evening. Nice to see you. Bournes, of course, we've mentioned. Scott, yeah, Happy New Year, Scott. Shoddy says, evening, Tintin. Why do you always have to do your live streams when I'm about to go out on call? Oh, it's a shame. Sorry about that, Shoddy. I don't normally do Wednesdays, as you know, but Monday was the first proper day back at work. So, yeah, I just didn't fancy it. By the time we got to the end of the day, I was a bit knacked, so I didn't bother. You've just got the Gemma version now from ATS, and it's much better. Yeah, I still have got it, but I don't think I haven't got the flirt and some of the other stock. So I need to get that so I can actually run something on it. So, Nick, good evening. Right, shall we get into it? I'll take it off pause first of all, and we will get everything set up, and then we'll have a look at what it is we're actually doing. So, Shift W first of all. Let's go into forwards, shall we? There we are. Right. Headlights we need. Daytime. Let's have a look. Tail lights can go off. Day headlights. Perfect. Right. Okay. Let's go outside and have a quick look at what we've got. Get the doors open. Perform the loading of the mail. There are some Royal Mail staff knocking around, as you can see. It's quite nice, this, actually. You get the proper, with the AP enhancement pack, you get the proper Royal Mail liveries as well. You don't get that with the standard DTG one. It's all covered up, so you can't see who it's meant to be. It's like an imitation Royal Mail, but this is the real thing. So, yeah, looking forward to this one. Dangerous Dave. And oh God, we must be waiting for a Dave somewhere. There's not enough Daves in. Yeah. You would say it's nice to see Warrington, but it's Warrington. Actually, Warrington in the sun, like this, it's early evening in summer, actually looks all right. We've got Warrington Bank Key up here, which we will see shortly. So let's just wait for the loading to complete. 175. That was another one of the new things I picked up actually over Christmas. Let's just have a look at the schedule. Hello, driver. Please read, as there's been a change to your route tonight. Owing to a landslip in the Madeley area, the West Coast Main Line is closed for 2 to 3 hours this evening. As a result, all the West Coast Main Line traffic is being squeezed through the Stoke line. Okay, cool. I don't think this actually. It's given the GSMR stuff, but I don't think this has got GSMR at all. It hasn't. It's got the NRN. It's blacked out, so we can't use it. Right, let's get underway, shall we? Why is that not? Hang on a minute. Something funny's going on. I can't use the brakes. That's not good. What have I done? What have I not done? That's weird. I couldn't do it on the keyboard. I can do it with the control. Let me just try that again. Ah, that's better. It's working. It's working. The keyboard wasn't working then. That's not a good start, is it? Right. Off we go. So we need to stop at the Upgoods Warrington Bank Quay, which is just under 1.5 miles. That's the first stop. Lemore says, I'm not Dave. Also, hello. Good evening, Lemore. How you doing? W Jollies, how are you? Nice to see you. Stepford, when is the next patch? I don't know. Stepford, for what? For what specifically? It's nice to drive this 325, actually. I've driven it quite a bit on West Coast Main Line North, mainly. And let me just put the vigilance device on. Hopefully my keyboard is working now. Seems to be. Good, good, good. Yeah, all good. Thanks, Slimore. Yeah. Peter, good evening. Out with the heritage stock tonight. Yeah, it is just heritage, isn't it? We've got another one waiting to come in there, look. Probably just waiting for us to pass, then he can come in. Time we're due in 1929. We're due in Warrington. When is the Manchester commuter? They've not said yet. No release date. Thanks everybody for coming in. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Have you seen the fantastic 390 sound mod for TSW? Do you mean, Lemore? I have the AP sound pack for the TSC version, but I haven't got anything for the TSW version. Animal's back with his pizza. The TS Classic. Do you mean the AP one, Lemore? I have got the AP one. Animal's eating again. Right, this is Warrington. Bank Quay. That'll be the vigilance device. It got me as well. First one of the night. There you go. The one by Sam T. No, I've not seen that. Where'd you get that from, Lemore? Train sim community or something. Apologies for the state of the place. Is it that bad? I have been to Warrington, but I can't remember. Central Warrington, I mean. It's a video on YouTube, and it's got a website, right? I'll have a look into that then. Who's eating biscuits? You've not started on the biscuits already, surely. We've only been running 5 or 10 minutes. Right, there we go. Let's. I imagine we're going to wait for that 175, so we'll pop it into neutral, shall we? Don't think has this got a DRA? I don't think it's got a DRA, has it? Don't think so. Not to worry. It would be on the front there, wouldn't it? So let's have a quick look again at the schedule. So we're going straight from here down to Stafford via the loop, as it said in the description. So should be a decent run. You've got a chicken and sweet corn, and the other one's a meat feast. What, you're having two? You must be a growing lad. Have the doors been opened here? No, they don't need to be. We're just waiting. Remind me again, boys. Is it Unilever? This one used to be like Persil and Lever Brothers and stuff, didn't it? Washing powder and things like that was made there. Lot 175s are in training, ready for them to be running Penzance to Cardiff route. Interesting. Should you buy this and the APT? Well, this don't forget, Lemore. This is not this 325. It's the DTG 325, but it's got the AP enhancement pack on it, so it's slightly different to the one you would get on Steam, obviously. But let's go, shall we? Bit back in forwards, I'll be all right. We can follow the 175 out now. But it's loud, that. 55 miles to Stafford. Should be a decent run. Yeah, Unilever, I thought so, yeah. Yeah, Limo, it's not one of the better enhancement packs. I think it was the very first one that I got, actually. It's not got as many features as some of the other enhancement packs, but if you like all the parcel loading, etc., and the sound, as you said, then it's pretty good. All the door operations are a lot better on this. And I'm just trying to remember from the manual, these blue lights as well show which doors are open, and they change colour if they're not locked. Or I can't remember. It's a long time since I looked at the manual. I think there is a bogey cam as well. Where's the bogey cam? How do I get that going? If anybody knows, tell me. Right, we'll give it the beans. There's the 175 off to the left, look. Heading somewhere Welsh, no doubt. Yeah, they've been withdrawn fairly recently, I think, as well, haven't they? It's fun to drive in Train Sim Classic. I mean, it's something I'd quite like in TSW, to be honest. You could almost do a kind of sort of parcels sort of pack. A Voyager. The blue lights are to do with the security system. Yeah, maybe. As I said, it's a long time since I read the manual. It's all in there. You took the Virgin liveried Pendolino south over Shat, and it didn't bomb out on you. That's good. That's good. Did you do the? You did the scenario, did you? That I put on the Creators Club. I assume. A few people messaged me, said they quite enjoyed that. I mean, just there's others. There's others on there. It just saves you setting up the scenarios yourself. It just depends how much traffic you want. I did put a little bit of traffic in both directions, but yeah, you could probably do more, to be honest. They're fun to spot. Yeah, I remember seeing them coming into Preston. The proper travelling post office was parked at Harwich for ages. Wonder if TSW5 will get the West Coast Main Line North. It's a pretty good route, isn't it? West Coast Main Line North in TSC, as we saw the other week when we wasn't the last live stream we did, was it? A couple of live streams before we went up the West Coast Main Line North. What's the top speed of this? Is it 100? I think it's 100. I think it says in the briefing. 100 miles per hour max. So we'll try and obey. So yeah, this is the missing link. So if you haven't got this, you need to be a Alan Thompson Sim subscriber to pick this up. But once you're a subscriber, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. Just your paid subscription. That's all. It's 32 quid for a year or something. I think it still is. I think I got mine in June. It's been worth it so far, though. I've picked up quite a few things off there. Shift +2, and then right arrow. Ah, there it is. Nice. Right, let's keep an eye on the speed. A little rough 32 quid. There's quite a bit you can get once you're in, though. It's not too bad. Tom, good evening. Happy New Year to you. Chris, how are you? Has something gone missing? What do you mean? What's gone missing? The black neutral section is warning you that there's the whiteboard, like on the West Coast Main Line over Shat. It's just warning you that the neutral section is coming up. And as GE Dave informed us a few weeks back, the blackboard is generally a 1 mile post. I think, Dave, is that right? Gives you a 1 mile warning before the actual neutral section, so you have time to, depending what train you're driving, you have time to power down. You don't need to on this, although you can see on this sign the line indicator does go out when we go over the neutral section, but you don't need to. It's not like the 87. You don't have to Or the 86 for that matter. You don't have to power it down or anything. Or the Pendolino. We don't do it on the Pendolino, do we? You only ask because of the title if something's gone missing. Can't remember the title now. Royal Mail Rail, was it? Is that what I put? Well, we keep getting yellows changing to green as we approach, so we have been driving it like we stole it up to now. But it's trying its best to hold us up. Are you still running over them? Animal. David Drives, good evening. Thank you very much for that, Dave. Do appreciate it. GG's for Dave. The other Dave, Dave66. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. The missing link is West Coast Main Line. So if you buy the DTG ones, there's West Coast Main Line South, and then there's Trent Valley, and then when you get to after the Trent Valley route, there's a big gap between the end of that route and then Preston, where the West Coast Main Line over Shat starts. So the missing link is the bit in the middle, hence the missing link. So that's what we're driving down right now. So we just left Warrington and we're heading down to Stafford. So we go through Crewe and down to Stafford. You enjoy driving the Pendolino now, Nick? I told you you would, because you didn't have it at first, did you? For me, that was the big attraction of that West Coast Main Line South route, to be honest. The Dave Collective. Single yellow. Does it start in Birmingham? No, it's Trent Valley. Trent Valley. So the whole of the West Coast Main Line is available now with this, but you can only get it from Alan Thompson's sim. It was when I got my subscription. It was the first thing that I picked up. Right, let's not spad this, shall we? Hopefully it'll... Is that yellow? Can't see it. It is like a Meccano set. It's good that they've done it. I think they're also working on a merge as well. Green. They're working on a merge, which I think on the website it just says in production. I don't think I don't think there's any date on that, because they did the as Dave has just popped up and said, they did the Wcml merge as well. The Wcml one's really good. It takes you hours to do it, but it's very satisfying. So I've run that, but I've not done that on a video yet. But I will attempt to do it. We might even do it on a stream, actually. If we do a super long stream. It'll be a really long one, though. The West Coast Main Line one that I did, obviously, as you remember, I pieced it together. I ran all the parts separately, and with the magic of editing, I stuck it all together. Some people could tell I'd done that, others couldn't. which was quite good. Even though at Birmingham, I come in on one platform and I leave on another one. Some people noticed, some didn't. But now I've just given the game away. You're all going to go and check now. Tom, you did a mail run today with the 45. The Horseman, we got an updated or more variants of the 45, like the 47. Could be like that, couldn't it? One of these third-party developers could bring out something like that, I guess. It's a nice looking beast, isn't it? You can already see a distant yellow. Bit of a job editing for the BBC. Used to enjoy continuity error spotting Michael Portillo's railway journeys. Do you know, I find myself doing that, looking for continuity things. Not on Michael Portillo's as such, but just generally. No, it's really weird, but I also like, you know, when someone's getting in a car, I also like looking in the car window, see if you see the reflection of the crew behind with the big microphone. How many times does that pop up? I know, I'm strange. Just adds interest to whatever you're watching. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, another EMU that would be good for TSW. I think it will be very popular as well. Oh, you were in that, were you, Dave? I've not watched all of them. I must admit, I've watched quite a few of them. I find him a bit annoying, to be honest. But some of the stuff is pretty good. But I've definitely not seen all of them. And there's been quite a few series, hasn't there, as well? Oh, you did, Tom. Yeah, I saw them. Actually saw them earlier. Yeah, I did. You had your first spad in the class 40. And the red was 500 yards away. Did the run again and spotted it. A red-white track signal on the ground level. Yeah, if you've been playing the West Coast Main Line in TSW, just before you get to Carnforth, that's an annoying signal there. If you know which one I mean, where we always laugh at the at Dave's Anglian 47714 being sat there just before you approach Carnforth Station. That's a tricky one. Sometimes it holds you there while something comes in the sidings to your left as well if you're heading north. And sometimes you come belting up from Lancaster and then it holds you there. I've noticed that quite a few times. Yeah, I can see a green, so... Bertello deserves a slap for someone who thinks he wears... Some of those jackets are really loud, aren't they? Very loud. It's part of his gimmick, isn't it, now? You stopped at Oxenholme and it was spot on the mark. Yeah, you see, you're just showing off now. How many times did you practice it first? I'm all right in TSW. I'm all right at Oxenholme. It was just driving the 86 in TS Classic with all the buttons going on, which was the problem. That's the famous one. Quite a nice clock at going for. It is too small though. Don't forget Bourne's that clock. It's way bigger than that. I'm gonna go and hopefully do a bit of filming at Cornforth because I haven't been there for a while. I should go back and pay a visit, and I will capture the clock while I'm there on film, and you can see it. Oh, Tom's mentioned a 50 and a 55 actually. Video evidence to prove I'm not always right at Oxenholme. This is true. You did the 37 and it roars through Oxenholme. You blasted the horn as you spread through. It's got to be done. Well, it's more like a squeak, isn't it? The 37 horn in TSW. You haven't got the the beast mode of these kind of horns on here. Proper. The TS Classic horn for the the AP version for the 37 is pretty good. I was driving that earlier on actually. Right, we've still got 34 miles. We should be getting to Crewe pretty soon. Quite a long train, isn't it, that? Crewe up slow is approaching. So as we pass Crewe as well, you'll see the APT, which of course is parked at the Heritage Centre. We'll see that as we go through. Hitting the north-south divide soon. No such place as the Midlands. Yeah, that's cheating. You like watching the loco changes on platform 3 at Preston? Do you know, I've not done a lot of that yet in TSW generally. Just walking up down the platform, just kind of train spotting, if you will, or just hanging around. I probably should, because I always forget the timetable. When you're on foot, the timetable just keeps running, doesn't it? It's pretty neat. I know a lot of people spend quite a bit of time doing that, you know. Got a yellow and quickly a red. I can already see the APT. It's just poking out just there at the top. But we'll take a better look at it once we get a little bit nearer. Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. Yeah, a lot to see. Yeah, especially I imagine Carlisle as well looks a good place to do that because that's quite a busy hub. I might have a go at that. Glasgow Central's your favourite station. Yeah. Shame they finished the Royal Mail train after many years of service on the rails. Are they not transporting mail now? Are Royal Mail not transporting mail on the railways anymore? Is it all road based now? Is that what they've replaced it with? Seems like a kind of backward step, really, doesn't it? It's all going to be on the road. That's not very good, is it? I'm assuming it's just not cost effective. Seems a shame. But I'll wait for this red. I don't know if we can tab it. I'll try and tab it in a minute, but let's just have a quick look at the APT. Here she is. She looks in better nick here in the sidings than she does in real life. When you drive past this on the train, it's a real shame. There's paint all chipping off the sides. It's in a right state, but you can visit it at the Heritage Centre, and there's a guy working on it. And you can get on board. You can go and have a look round on the inside, etc. And then over this side, there's always a few things here. I think last time I came past there was an HST in here, and a couple of 47s, and they've got a couple of cabs like the front ends that they've just got kind of shaved off, so you can go in the cabs and stuff. I've not been to the Heritage Centre for years. I have been, but it's been years. Anyway, right. Let's see if we can tab this signal. Approved. There we go. Cool. Right. I think the alarm got me, didn't it, when I was out of the cab? So therefore it took me out forwards. Right, let's go. So we'll go through Crewe station and then we'll go off on the loop then, rather than straight on, which is where we would normally go. It's being repainted, is it, Dave? That's interesting. That's good to know because it is in a right state. Very sorry state. This wall here seems a bit high. When you're going past, you can see quite a lot of it. A little bit more than you can see here. But it's good if it's been repainted. That'll make a big difference. How do you fly faster? You just hold down shift as you obviously arrow key to move, but hold down shift you can go a little bit faster. This is Crewe. Joshua, good evening. You remember going to Crewe Heritage Centre? Really nice. Yeah, I haven't been for ages. As I said, I'm gonna have to try and go. I think. I just got another alarm, didn't I? It's just typical, that, isn't it? The minute I come out of the cab. Deary me. I'm almost tempted sometimes to turn it off so that I can. Hang on, let me acknowledge it. I'm tempted sometimes to turn the vigilance off, but that'd be cheating. Just because I like to be out of the cab a little bit. What's going on now? Right, let's try now. Why is the brakes not coming off? Ah, the emergency brakes on. There you go. That's it. That's what I wanted. There we go. Don't worry. We're all set. The APT into TSW again. I think that'd be another popular one, wouldn't it? But a lot of people have said you just couldn't quite get away with it on the Just Trains route. The time period is slightly different. There's the football ground just over there. Gresty Road. So now normally we would shoot straight up the West Coast Main Line there, but we're going off to the left in this scenario because that way is blocked. Crewe Alexandra, exactly, yeah. Been there a few times as well. Hi, good evening, how you doing? You won't get the sounds for it. There'll be a lot of mourners. What are you talking about? I missed it. You mean the Stockton and Darlington or the APT? Do you mean the APT? I get you. Yeah, probably there would be, wouldn't there? Does this train have cruise control? No, I don't believe it does. You sure Royal Mail could still use the railway for transporting letters, etc.? Could get some of the 91s when they go out of service, convert the coaches for the use. Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the problem there, Tom, is probably it's it's probably it's probably the volume of mail that people are sending these days with email and everything. I bet it's all gone, you know, I bet it's all gone south, really, hasn't it? They won't make off as much money as they used to. And if you remember at one time as well, there was only Royal Mail or subsidiaries of Royal Mail, like Parcel Force, for example, that were doing parcels. Now you've got Yodel, you've got all sorts of people. I mean, they're all crap, let's face it, but at one time, only Royal Mail did that. So you can kind of see the way it's gone. Crewe's not a bad station, yeah. No, it's a good place to because you can obviously you're on the West Coast Main Line. You can come down here to the Potteries. You've got the line to Liverpool going off from Crewe as well. North Wales coast. Quite a bit going on. There we go. Good. Got the green. I don't recall the last time you bought a stamp. I know it sounds funny that, but it's true, isn't it? It's true. Or if you're like me, they you got stamps in the drawer and you don't really use them. That's why they've started making stamps expire, haven't they? They've put like barcodes on the side because they know that people are saving them up, not really using them. So they want you to buy new ones. If you're not going to use them, they want you to buy new ones, not use the old ones. Which is, if you've paid the money for the stamps in the first place, that's not, they don't want people buying them up in bulk, do they? Crap is an understatement. I forgot you've had problems with them, haven't you? Animal in particular. Every, I think it was, wasn't it? £1.79 for first class. Is that what it is now? Go on, Bennett. Brass Crew isn't in TSW yet with all the route options. It kind of is, isn't it? With Spirit of Steam, the old Crew is in there, but definitely the new Crew could be quite good. Bit of single line action if we can get out of the trees. Probably missed the warning board there for the crossing. You think you could exchange stamps for the new QR codes at post office? You might be able to, yeah. I'm not sure. I'd probably pay the difference as well. DPD are the only decent company out there. Yeah. I mean, effectively, a lot of them have actually stopped delivering as such. I mean, there's some that won't even knock on your door. We had one this week from Amazon. Don't know who was delivering it for them, but they just left it outside the door, didn't even knock. Nothing. It's not great, is it? Surprised every driver's managed to find their own vans. Yeah, they probably left them somewhere. Interesting coming down this way, isn't it? So if I get a chance to show you the map, I will do so. Let me just check the next signal, and it looks like we've got a 66 there waiting for us. So we'll just pass this and we'll have a quick look at the map. Freightliner. Is it green? It's green. So if you look at the map, centre the player. So we've got Crewe. Oh damn! There we go again. Look. Right, let me do this quickly because I can see a yellow coming up. So we got Crewe Station. Then you got the West Coast Main Line going south proper there, and we've been routed along this loop, and we'll come back to Stafford again, which is down there. We may have something in front of us as well. We'll just we'll see. Looking for a rugby place to kick the porcelain to anyone's garden. Yeah, like a little drop kick over the fence. Yeah. So yeah, this is an interesting one, and as I said, I've got quite a few scenarios that have come with the AP packs, and I've also got a few that I've got from Alan Thompson Sim and elsewhere, and I've just not run them yet. So I've got quite a few that we can cover on the streams and the videos, and hopefully next week from a TSW perspective, we've got a roadmap as well. I think that's going to be next week. It should be. So we'll see if there's anything new on there. We might get a surprise that one of those new routes they've been talking about for a while is going to be releasing soon. There's got to be something, hasn't there, in Q1? So hopefully sooner rather than later. $68. That's one of my new ones as well that I picked up. I've not done much with that yet though. That was an enhancement pack. I already had the DTG 68 or the Steam version. I don't know if DTG have made it. It was whatever the Steam version is. There's one of those sneaky signals that Nick was telling us about, the ground signals. You mentioned the Xbox problems. So I've been playing quite a bit over sort of Christmas period on the PS5, and it's generally all right. But I think, like you were saying, Animal and Nick, about the West Coast Mainline South in particular, the PS5 keeps crashing on me as I come into Euston. So it's not ideal, but if I save the service on my way into Euston, I don't know, like 2 miles before, I find it crashes coming into the platform at Euston, but then if I reload it from the save file, it lets me finish it. So there's obviously some memory optimization problem going on there just generally. But it sounds like the same thing Xbox and PS5 for that. I mean, the DTG have probably been off for 2 weeks, haven't they? So I don't know what, if any, progress they'll have made on that. But one of our other Daves, who I don't think's in at the moment, Dave Melody, he's been trying a few of the different routes, some of the older routes as well on PS5. He's been having trouble with those, he was telling me. Right, we need to be down for 15 at Kids Grove. I think we go off to the right. I think there's a junction at Kids Grove and we go off to the right hand side. You think all console players are doomed with TSW? Did you get the free route, Nick, by the way? Did that... The American route, wasn't it? Because I know Xbox was meant to be later getting that. I already had that route anyway, from when it released. Tom, you'd like a 68 in TSW. Well, it could be used for the freight then, can't it? We said this a few times. We could do with a new freight loco other than the 66. I think that'd be useful. A 68 would be nice actually, or a 67, 68. Both of which, again, I always quite like driving them in TS Classic. Yeah, West Coast Main Line South where it's crashed the most. I think generally there's a bit of something going on there, but it's not good. Track sounds are really good as well in TS Classic. Got to admit. Got a canal. Plenty of canals in this part of the world, of course. Yeah, I got to admit, Peter, what you're saying there, because obviously when I'm streaming it with you guys, generally these days I'm on the PC because my setup is ready to go. I haven't got a capture card for my PS5, so I did the bus videos the other day. They were on the PS5. You can probably tell with the microphone's a bit different because I use my headset on the PS5, but I haven't got the PS5 linked into the PC to be able to stream through to the PC. So generally when I'm playing TSW on these live streams, I'm doing it on the PC. And I've not had any problems on the PC either. But it's slightly different experience, let's say, on the PS5. The DRS 20 with the flasks. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that. But again, we've already got a Class 20. It'd be nice to have something completely different. Look at these drips, by the way, coming down from the tunnel roof. You see that? This is Hercastle Tunnel. Let's check the map as to where we are. So we're coming down here right now, so that's where we are. So we're going to come down the rest of the loop and back into Stafford, which I said, I think this is Stafford down there. So we haven't long to go. 21 miles. I think I've been alright on the Brighton main line, actually, on the PS5. I was playing that over the last couple of weeks. I think that's been alright for me. Is Animal, is trains just coming out for Xbox, or is that PS5 as well? Thomas, yeah. I've forgotten about Thomas. It's all died down a little bit. For now, anyway. I think, Nick, as well, actually, you know what? Come to think of it, are you trying to get are you trying to get the TSW5 version of that route? Because I think the TSW5 version of it will show as $24.99. But if you go back to have a look for the TSW2 version. And if the TSW2 version, I've read this somewhere, if the TSW2 version is free, get that, and then it automatically qualifies you for TSW3, TSW4, TSW5 version of it. And I think that's because it was a TSW2 route originally. So just go back to the store, just have a quick look for the TSW2 version of that route and see if that fixes it. Because I didn't have that route on the PC, and I had to do the same thing. I have it on the PlayStation, but I didn't have it on the PC, so I went back and I had to go back to the different versions. The TSW2 one was free. It's showing as 0. So just add that one to your library, and then you'll find you unlock the other one. The US routes are all right. The US freight routes are all right. They're just very slow, and they can be a bit ploddy. But then again, that's what the US freight stuff is like. And actually, if you got some time to spare, they're actually quite relaxing drives. As long as you're not going downhill and you've got to do the combination of dynamic and automatic brakes, because that can be a bit tricky. AKA Sandpatch. That's always one of the interesting ones when you first play it, from a braking perspective. Well, let's speed it up a bit now, because I think the signals are alright. I still wonder about the Thomas stuff, whether it's just going to be this one-off or whether they'll just dip the toe in the water and have a look how it does, and maybe bring out something, a bit more substantial. Because the first one obviously is going to be on the West Somerset Railway, which kind of makes a little bit of sense from you could have a Thomas event, where they stick the fake Thomas face on the front of any old blue loco they've got. But then again, it could be better with its own route. People have said, how come they haven't built the Sodor map? Maybe they will, if the West Somerset version of it is popular. I suppose they just don't know till they get some data. I mean, I'll be playing it on here. Don't get me wrong. I'll play it a few times on here. I think a few of you might step out of that stream. you might not want to watch that one, but we play everything, including Arosa and including Oakville. So we should play the Thomas one. It's only fair. Right, 60, then a 45. Start bringing it down a little bit. This is Stoke-on-Trent, by the way. Pick up all your pottery while you're here. If you're having trouble sleeping, try a US freight route. They are quite long, quite slow, but strangely quite satisfying. I don't play them all the time. Like I've said to you before, sometimes on a Sunday morning, you just get your feet up. You can run one for a couple of hours, and it's quite good. But they're not routes that I could play over and over again. The same week. But I do enjoy them. You hit the Streamlabs. You hit the like button, even though Streamlabs is still telling you to do it. Thank you very much for that, Peter. You're looking forward to doing the concrete one with a double 37. Yeah, so there's two part. If you look in the timetable, there's two parts to that, or there's one that runs it. I think in one go, which is a longer one. But yeah, very enjoyable to give the 37, a bit of a longer run. I'm glad they've put that in, to be honest. And I've seen that train many, many times when I worked on Preston Station as a young lad. I saw that coming through in the morning quite a lot. So it was nice to see it again in the game. And I specifically remember the gunny train, because of the noise, the 237s. And it used to come through about, well, obviously I was doing shifts then, so I was starting my shift at 6. When I was on the 6 till 2 shift, it would come for about 6:30, and it would be noisy, and it would lay over in Preston for a little bit, but then it would fire up and it'd be off. And it's not very residential around Preston Station, which is probably a good thing, because they probably would have complaints about that. Tom says, as much as you like TSW5 and Just Trains 2, it's starting to get tiresome using the same locos wearing a new paint job. Yeah, I can see that. I think, though, personally, just my own opinion, I think if you look at what Just Trains have done, and there's a lot of new developers coming in, I think I'm hoping this is kind of like, this is the turning point for TSW, and the variety that we're going to get is going to be a lot greater, and the quality is going to be greater as well. I think it's taken all this time, I think it's taken all this time to just get TSW established. But Scooby, thank you for that, mate. Would you like a network rail pack in TSW? Yeah, absolutely. I like things like this, like we're pretending that we're running the mail train. Anything that's like that, where we're doing a job, I always say anything that immerses me more in the train world, I would go for it. And a network rail pack, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Because it would do exactly that. Xbox is insisted on $24.99 for the TSW2 version. That's very odd. Then that's different. Then send a support ticket though, Nick, to Dovetail before the supposedly free route ends, so they can sort it out for you. Don't let it slip by. Just go on the forums, and then in the top right hand corner of the forums, there's a support button, and you can log a ticket. And I'm sure they'll tell you how to do it straight away. Everything is class 66 nowadays. They keep saying that, don't they, DTG? They keep saying that the 66 is pretty much the only freight loco that they can put on any route. So that's why there's so many of them. I like that limo. What's the peep, 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 peep noise? And I just missed it, did I? Did I just miss it? I think I missed it. I've just missed the peep, peep, peep noise while I was reading that. There we go. The brakes are off now anyway. I can carry on. Yes, you do. You do. Make sure the driver's awake or not reading the chat. Yeah, you need to turn it on. So in TSW, it's in various places, depending on what you're driving. But what it just did there is the whole reason for it. That if you're not concentrating or you're falling asleep or worse, if you don't cancel it when it does the peep, 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 then it'll stop the train just in case, the driver's out of action. To stop it hitting whatever's in front eventually. Oh, is there a 2-minute release delay? Oh, dear me. Yeah, that would be. There it goes. Oh, I've got a double one. I got both then. Speed warning. And the vigilance. Yeah, 2-minute delay. That'd be painful. They've cut a few of those delays out. So when we were talking about the American freight routes, I don't know if you've been around in TSW long enough to know that you used to have to release the brakes on the big freight trains and wait sometimes minutes for the brakes to come off. I don't know if you remember that. And they kind of tidied all that up, didn't they? And people had said, I'm literally waiting like 5 minutes for the brakes to come off. Just watching a screen, watching the numbers change. And I didn't mind that from a realism perspective. But people complained about it and they fixed it. So it didn't do that. But that was one of the biggest delays you could get in TSW. Brake releasing on the freight trains. Right, we've got 9 miles into Stafford. I think this is Stone Station. As we travel through the mail train. Is this Stone? Does it even tell me anywhere? Doesn't tell me. I got emergency brake. Look at that. I probably went for a yellow light, didn't I? Right. Let's fix it. Oh, dear me. Right. Let's see if we can move off. I think I had a yellow. And because I was flying around outside the cab, I went through the yellow. That's why. That's the only difference in this one as well, is that there is some visual reminders for the alarms in TS Classic. You can't hear the sound of the alarm going off though if you're outside the cab, whereas in TSW they've implemented it that the safety devices, even if you're outside the cab, you can hear them and you can acknowledge them from outside as well. So you can just hit the button without having to return to the cab, which I quite like actually. It's a bit of a faff going out of the cab, but remember, some train simulator drivers don't leave the cab at all. They don't look outside, but then it's a shame because you miss the you miss the liveries and things like that. And there you go again. There's the alarm. Definitely stone, says Bones. Thought it was. It's pretty unique, isn't it? The way it veers off like that. Right, 8 miles. The AWS, I don't think you can turn off in TS Classic, can you? Again, I think it depends what you're driving. You got an Xbox notification for an achievement. Route Explorer, 87 miles within the speed limit. Yeah. Of course, you've only just got that route, haven't you, Nick? Last couple of weeks. I was just about to say, it's took you a long time to get that, but I remember you waited, I think, didn't you, till after Christmas for that? Yeah, Q. Q to. So the vigilance is E. If you're talking about TS Classic, the vigilance is E. The AWS is Q. How to turn the vigilance on in TS Classic? Usually Control E. If you're using a keyboard, Control E, I think. Control D, sorry, Control D to turn it on. I would say in TSW, I'd say look in the manual, but there isn't one. But TS Classic, yeah. Well, actually, there is a manual for TS Classic for the. If you are you talking about the West Coast Mainline South Pendolino for TS Classic Animal, because there's definitely a manual for that with all the controls in it and the buttons, etc. That's one thing TS Classic's very good for, the manuals. Oh, you picked it up on Boxing Day, so you got it a little bit earlier than you expected to get it. Then, I think you originally said you were going to get it January, didn't you? If I remember correctly. Oh, your daughter got it for you. Brilliant. So you didn't even pay a penny for it either, which is great. Okay, I got you, Animal. Right, so over 3 miles. Then we'll jump into the 156 for a short service. So this scenario was set in 2020. This one, 1 Alpha 97. And it's actually Warrington Royal Mail Terminal down to Willesden is the full service. Which would be a nice decent run, wouldn't it, all the way down there. You picked up the heavy freight. Yeah, that's a good choice, heavy freight. Because then you can use the engines out of that on the West Coast Main Line Just Trains route as well. And on Blackpool branches as well. If I can't remember if I think you have got Blackpool branches, Nick. I think you said you have. So you can use some of them on there as well. So bit of extra value out of them. Right, coming into Stafford. Going back to the Great Eastern Main Line discussion, Dave, as well. For the Alan Thompson version, have you got plenty of scenarios for that? Did you get those from Alan Thompson Sim, just out of interest? Because I think the standard ones that come with the actual route, I think there's only about 3 or 4 of them. And I think there's one for the class 90. Is 90 or 91? Can't remember. Anyway, there's one for that. There's about 2 for the flirt, which I haven't got because I think it's quite expensive. And then there's is it a 317? I think there's a couple for the 317. I haven't got that either. I haven't got the AP version of that either. So there's not a lot I can run on there. So I need to get some new scenarios. So I just wondered where you picked them up from, because I'll go off and have a look. I know you can buy scenario packs, can't you, as well? Alan Thompson Sim. People put them together for like a £5. Yeah. Oh, you've only got the standard ones. Yeah, the 90, the 317, and you've not got the flirt. Yeah. So I've only got the 90 out of that list. Whereas on the original route, there's quite a few in there. And because I got the enhancement packs and whatnot, I get to use the better versions. 321, I think I got over Christmas as well. I definitely got that because I think I was running that on the East Coast Main Line as well. I think there's some services for that on the East Coast Main Line. I was running recently. Got the 175. I got the other HST that I was missing, which I think was the Valenta. I think there's only one for sale now at AP, and then they brought out the new pack, didn't they? As well. I got a few things. I did get a few things. The 68, of course, which I already mentioned. I got the enhancement pack for the 68. So I still spent quite a bit, but a lot of the southern based stuff I've not got yet. I've got one of the 319 packs, the first one, I think, and that's because there's a lot of scenarios for like Northern Lines, which is basically Blackpool branches, isn't it? for TSC. And there's a few on this missing link. You can use the 319 as well. So I've got that. I will eventually get the lot, but I get nervous when I spend loads of money. In one go, I mean. This is Stafford. And it's not asking us to open the doors. So this is just a stopover. Dusty bins, is that what they're called? Oh, wow. 3, 2, 1. Dusty bin. Well done. You've completed the scenario successfully. There we go. That was all right, that. I could have done it a bit faster, but it's difficult when you're reading the chat. Don't keep up with the speed. Else we would have probably been there a little bit earlier than that. But this is it. West Coast, Midlands, and North West. That's the actual route. And if you have a look at the route, there's all these that come with it. So 156, we're going to run this one shortly. This East Midlands Trains one. But there is one there for 319 as well. Lime Street to Preston, but that's a night service. A couple for the 325. We just did this top one. I don't know why it shows as 0 for the timing. Then we got loads, a whole host of Class 350 ones in various liveries. Couple for the 66. A few more for the 325, but I think those are using the standard 325, not the AP versions. Then we got a whole load of stuff for the Pendolino. I've got that one in there as well that I want to run at some point, which is the Les Ross, the blue 86, as you can see there. I've got that in there. That's part 3 of I think a 6-part scenario, which comes all the way up the West Coast Main Line. That's the sort of Midlands version of it. Couple for the Class 90, DBS Class 90s. 91, I've got this one as well. Again, this is a several part of the Awareness Special. That comes all the way up from Euston as well, in several parts as well. So there's plenty to do on this one. Just trying to see what else I've got on here. I've got all the main ones. Leeds Lines, Cumbrian Coast we played before. Harrogate Loop. Northern Lines, electric and non-electric. They're both quite interesting. There's the 319 I was telling you about. Some of the standard ones. A couple of Just Trains ones. Wessex Main Line's quite nice. Quite enjoyed that one. Etc. 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 There's the merge, East Coast Main Line merge that we were talking about. That's there. I've got quite a few. There's the London King's Cross to Leeds as well, East Coast Main Line, which is separate. That one's free as well. You don't have to be a subscriber for that one either. At Alan Thompson Sim, I believe. That links the West Coast Main Line over Shap and the West Coast Main Line North, so you can run it all in one go without swapping at Carlisle. So yeah, loads and loads to do. Loads of stuff I've not covered yet. But we're going to run this one from Stoke to Crewe. This is year 2021. Driving 156497, so we'll do this. What's the Chat Moss route? We ran that the other... Do you remember we ran it with the 800 animal a couple of months back? So it goes from Liverpool Lime Street to Manchester Victoria. I think you're in that stream, Animal. I don't know, you might not have been, but yeah, have a look. We did it in the Transpennine. Transpennine Express. Good route actually. Right, here we are in the 156. Let's get it all set up, shall we first? It says, good morning, driver. Open the doors. Prepare for immediate departure. Your train from Newark Castle is on the last leg of its journey to Crewe. calling at all stations through to its destination. You're due into Crewe at 10:05, so it's about half an hour, this one. So let's get it all going. I always struggle with this when I'm using the mouse. There we go. Let's have the instrument lights. We'll have the headlights. Markers we'll have as well. And we can probably... Let's get the doors open, actually, shall we, while we're waiting. We'll do the GSMR as well, once it powers up. We are 1K55. So let's do that. Need to do that first or not? So 1K, was it 55? 1K55, yeah. And then what signal are we at? As a pen door comes in, especially for Lamore there on the other side. 277. Do we put? I can't remember what we're doing now. Mine's gone blank. Do we put 77 or do we? We can't put. Oh yeah, we can put a lot of it in. I thought we could only put in two numbers for some reason. Told you. I've had a long week. It's been a very long week. Right, vigilance device. Shall we do that first? Because we might need that on. I think we've got to do that by flicking the switch. I don't know what the control is. Where is the vigilance? Where's the vigilance? Has it got a vigilance, this? The 156? I don't know if it has. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it because it puts me off. Right. Let's go. No, not that. Can I clag, by the way? Clag factor 10. There you go. Right, let's just go. Have the destination light on. Where are we going, by the way? Longport, Kids Grove, Alsager, North Stafford, up and down Potteries, and then Crewe. That's where we're going. 3-digit number, yeah, thanks, Dave. My mind just completely went blank. Completely blank. There's no vigilance, right? It's confusing, isn't it? Why does the Classic look better? Yeah, I've got the packs. Yeah, I've got the packs that were mentioned. So, this particular route, let me just have a look at the track. Yeah, it is. It's got... So, the ones that I've got, the one that makes the biggest difference is the Sky Pack. The AP Sky Pack. Because it brightens the whole game up. To me, it makes it look a lot sharper as well. So that, I would say that's the first one to get. I've got the Signal Pack as well, and I've got the Track Pack. I haven't got the Vegetation one. Because I noticed in just watching a lot of gameplay with the Vegetation one, it seems to flicker. I don't know if that's your experience, Dave. But there's a lot of flickering going on. So I haven't bothered yet with that. But the weather one is, I would say, is the first one to get. Someone told me that right at the beginning. If you get anything, get the weather one. And it does make a big difference. Right. Let's go. The 319. So again, this is the AP version. If you want to look exactly what's in everything, Liam, or you can, if you go to the AP website, you can have a look at the manuals without actually buying the packs, so you can see the manual, because there's loads of stuff. There's loads of stuff. Yeah, better colours, definitely sharper. You can see them at a better distance than the standard ones, and then correct approach release, which I don't understand as much as someone like Dave would, for example. You know, as a beginner to it. But obviously that's really important if you want the proper simulation experience. See, look at the green signal right ahead. You can see it a long way off. It's not as good with the standard ones. Oh god, here we go. Oxenholme. Let's get it in emergency. Oh my word. Get the biscuits out. That's an objective failure. Oh my god. Right, we're off the Kids Grove, everybody. Oh my god. Oh dear me. Everybody look at the nice 66. Oh god. There's always one. There's always one. Taxi. At least we'll be on time. That's what I always say. Nobody wanted to stop there. Everyone wants to go to Kids Grove. Hey Charles, how you doing? Don't tell him why you're all saying taxi. Don't tell him. Where we meant to stop there. I'll get me coat. That's if somebody's not already handing it to me. It's mostly referred to as an Oxenholme, but at least with an Oxenholme, I do stop. I just stop a little bit later. With this one, there was no option to stop. Live Oxenholmes are the best Oxenholmes. Well, if I did a non-live Oxenholme, you wouldn't see it because I cut it out. You see. So there are only live Oxenholmes. Right, we've got Kids Grove coming up, so I'm going to stop reading the chat so we can successfully land at Kids Grove. I spend ages driving the wrong way. That was brilliant. That was a route learning issue. Like the day I got the route. That was the Northampton loop, that wasn't it? Where we had to couple up. And then I started driving it back the same way, didn't I? And it was probably the only route where driving back the other way I didn't get a red signal. It was almost as if I was meant to be there. So we got through several green signals. We're definitely stopping this time. Don't worry. Definitely anyone who travels on these trains that I'm driving needs a season ticket for Uber, just in case they missed a stop. So we basically just travelled down this way. Just heading up passenger on a passenger run rather than the Royal Mail one. Double locks and all. A bit fast. I got a speed countdown this time though. It was reducing the speed as I came in, so I was alright with that one. It's these stations that are on a straight line, so you know I'd be no good on the Great Eastern Main Line. Most of them are straight, aren't they? Now then, Farah, how you doing? All good, all good. I don't know what you just said, but I like it. Right, let's go. Let's see if we get any flag. Of course, it didn't want us to do that out of the station. It does now. We got 2.2 miles to the next station. They're not very fast, are they, these 156s? They don't accelerate very fast. Gargle pebbles. Yeah, we're definitely stopping at this one. I'm prepping. Yeah, I never really realised that they were so sluggish. Right, we'll let a few off here. Long stops as well because we're ahead of time. That's because we missed that station. We'll always be ahead now. A railway town since 1848. Look at that. Quite good how they've included that, isn't it? Some of these stations are quite well done, aren't they, in TS Classic? Got the local shops. I'll still find a way to be late. You know me too well. Next one's a go via. Yeah, that's giving it notch 7, which is the full beans. We're still only doing 31. Very true, Nick, very true. So that's probably our... We've probably got Crewe left, have we, after this? Got to go via and then stopping at Crewe. 10:05. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Everybody's safe until Crewe. I can imagine it is, Dave. Yeah, I bet it's a real come down, isn't it? Do you tend to start driving the slower stock first before you move on to things like the 90? Or does it not work like that? Is it more about just knowing the route rather than what it is you're actually driving? Oh, there's a speed restriction there. Oops. That was a speed restriction. Depends on the depot and if they split the work into links. I've got you. That's quite interesting, that 9. That's quite a lot, isn't it? I always thought, see, I was always under the impression you learnt one and then you kind of stuck to it. I didn't know you would sort of be. I didn't know you would have so many. And I take it if you turn up for a shift, you don't know until you shift, do you, what it is you're doing, or do you? Do they give you a sort of, upfront list of services that you're running, and in which loco or unit? Bronco, how you doing? Thoughts on Peak Forest? You picked it up in the sale. It's quite a nice route, Peak Forest, yeah. And there's going to be a DLC pack coming out for it as well soon. I did some Steam actually. Talk about Steam. I ran some Steam on Edinburgh Glasgow. Was it Edinburgh Glasgow? Not Edinburgh Glasgow. The 5 Circle. There's a couple of rail tours on there. If you got 5 Circle, go and check that out. They're quite good. Played them over the weekend. Really enjoyed it, actually. It's a shame if they're not going to bring any more steam engines out. I don't mind it at all. I mean, I prefer, talking about the US freight before, I prefer the steam engines to the US freight. But in a way, actually, that I didn't think that I would, because in real life I'm not that fussed about steam engines, but actually driving them in the game's pretty rewarding. Right, get ready for this 20. Approaching crew, platform's already occupied with another unit. Press tab to pass the signals ahead at danger. Okay. So we'll do that. Feels weird doing this. Although we do get the little shunt signal ding. Is it a shunt signal? Is that what it's called? I'll make sure I get the terminology correct whenever I can. Not made your mind up about the Flying Scotsman. I think you will enjoy the Flying Scotsman, being as you already quite like the East Coast Main Line. I think, Nick, don't you? I think you were saying you've played that quite a bit, so obviously it complements the East Coast Main Line. So I think you would quite enjoy it, especially if you get it in a sale. If you're going to try Steam, that's the one to get. Subsidiary signal. Right. I don't know where I got shunt signal from. Got 319 over on the right. A 350. And another 156 in here. Busy place. Ah, shunt signal is the nickname. I knew I'd heard it somewhere. Nice little run, that. Apart from missing that first first station. No rest for the wicked. The set has a 6-minute turnaround before heading back to Newark, but that's for another time, perhaps. Bad luck, you did not complete the scenario successfully. I wonder why. It's good fun. Bronco, just Trains route that came out. Here it's really good. Not sure about paying full price for it. In my opinion, it's the best route in the game currently. I would say. If you're not sure, just go and have a look at all the video on the channel. There's lots and lots of video on the channel if you want to check it out. So yeah, there we go. That was it. TS Classic for tonight. We got 4 out of 5 on that one. There was always bound to be 1. I just didn't know when it would come up. But anyway, it's fine. we got there in the end. Thanks everybody for coming in. Scooby, thank you for the super chat. David Drives, thank you for re-registering your membership. Much appreciated. Thanks to everybody for coming in. To all our members, thanks for the chat. Probably back Monday now. Let's get back to the regular Mondays, I think, from next week. So thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Take it easy. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, everyone.